Yeah, quite possibly.
That's efficient.
Now, heading into Christmas, you might already be carrying a credit card balance and the spending season hasn't even started yet. So how do you make a dent in your debt? And do you really need a credit card in the first place? Well, let's find out from Fairfax Money columnist Nicole Pedersen-McKinnon. Hello, great to see you, Nicole.
Hello. Good morning, guys. Exciting morning.
All right, yeah, it's a very exciting morning here at Studio 10. Now, say you blew $50 on the Melbourne Cup yesterday. Would that really have been worth putting on your credit card instead, paying that debt down?
Look, every dollar you pay off debt is a dollar on which you'll never again pay interest. So in itself, every dollar is a really powerful thing. But I'm sort of guessing that maybe you didn't spend $50 yesterday. If you went to the races, you spent more like $200. And let's say you splurge like that every month. For the average Aussie on the average debt, that's actually going to save you, if you instead put it on your card, $10,000 and 30 years. So that's some pretty big numbers we're talking now. And that's based on $4,200 carried over in debt, an average interest rate, wait for it, of 18.5%. And that's versus paying the minimum repayment. So that's, you know, we're talking big numbers here.
Wow. I've been busy taking the scissors to my credit cards just to sort of streamline and get myself under control a bit.
Good on you, good on you.
But now you're saying as I approach 50 that I'll need to have one.
Look, I surprise myself here, and this is so many people have come to me lately and they've had trouble getting a credit card or even getting a limit increase. Now, these are people with great credit records, great credit scores, fantastic repayment history, and even existing relationships with that bank or institution. And they're getting knocked back. And the one thing they have in common is that they are over the age of 50. So there's all of this, you know, in the context of the Royal Commission and crackdowns by the regulators, there's a lot going on where the banks are really starting to panic about being responsible with their lending, right? And they're really weighting employment income over, say, dividend income or pension income. The other thing to consider is that there is no such thing as a joint credit card. So we very unfortunately lost my beautiful father-in-law about a year ago, and my mother-in-law thought she had a credit card because, you know, there were two, right? It was in his name. Right. She just had a secondary card. Cancelled. No chance of ever getting another one. And look, you know, there are some reasons that you might want a credit card for emergencies, travel insurance, just to pay for something, you know, that month ahead. So I really do advise now that just get that credit card and, of course, keep it at a zero interest. Zero balance, zero interest.
Isn't that a dream?
It's possible. It is possible.
It is possible in the land of gumdrop. Listen, Nicole, does something have to change with the way how the banks now look at credit, or is it ultimately a good thing that they're stricter?
Look, it's not such a bad thing. If we were talking mortgages, I'd probably say, look, it's all gone too far. This tightening in credit has started to dampen the property market, as we've seen. But with credit cards, I mean, I think people were getting too easy access to credit. And a recent ASIC report says 1 in 6 Aussies are actually in trouble with their credit card limits. About 1 million people carry over a balance from month to month. And if that's at 18.5%, that's really, really costing you. My fear is that, I guess, you know, being knocked back for credit is going to force people into the arms of much more dodgy providers like these payday lenders. So be super careful. Get that emergency fund so you're never vulnerable.
All right, some great tips you have to share with us as well. Track all your spending. Make sure it's every dollar. Create a budget. Pay only with cash or debit, not your credit card, even if you have one. Make small savings. Get a credit card with a sufficient limit before the age of 50 and try to keep it at a zero balance. Always great talking to you, Nicole. Thanks so much.
Lovely to see you guys.
Dropping in to say hi. Okay, lots more to come.